tactical over caliber changes in the 1911 platform to bring back the luster of the stainless, fixed sights, adjustable sights, night sights. Hello folks, Bob Serva from Fusion Firearms again. Today we're going to go over another sector of our mainspring housings and how to change out your mainspring housings. This one's going to be on the carry cut mainspring housing. Now there is a fixture, if your gun isn't already drilled for a carry cut, that you have to drill another hole to use a carry cut mainspring housing, drill and ream another hole. And it is kind of a precision hole, so you're going to want to have somebody do it on a Bridgeport or somebody that knows what they're doing. We do offer those services to actually re-drill your frame, mount the carry cut mainspring housing, and blend the mainspring housing to the frame. The carry cut's been very popular for carry because it doesn't, when you're carrying in a pancake holster and that, the butt of the gun's not sticking you in the ribs or in the back. So a lot of people really like this option. So we do it on quite a few pistols. You'll see we have different textures. We have a checkered texture. There's actually a smooth carry cut, and then there's a chain link carry cut. So depending on the texture that you like, you can get any of those textures in both stainless steel, carbon steel with black finish, or our aluminum alloy. Again, people who are wanting to go real lightweight seem to prefer the aluminum alloy style. And the aluminum alloy will come also in the silver finish and a black finish. So either of your choices. Now, if your gun is already drilled for a carry cut, you'll notice, like, here's a frame that I just pulled off the gunsmithing bench that we've been blending in the carry cut into the frame. What do I mean by blending? Well, after we machine the frame, put the hole in, the carry cut mainspring housing is assembled into the frame, and then it's hand blended using various sanding wheels and buffing wheels to blend it in. So you get it nice and central. You also get it so it's very smooth, so it fits in the palm of your hand. Many people really love the carry cut. We even build them on the 6-inch guns, 5 and 6-inch guns, because people get to accustomed to their carry gun with a carry cut mainspring housing, and they even want the carry cut mainspring housing on their carry gun or their hunting gun or even their target gun, just because it feels so good the way it cradles in the palm of their hand. So we get a lot of call for these. Say you already have a gun, pistol frame that's been drilled, and you have a carry cut already on the pistol. What can you expect? Well, a few things. If your gun's not drilled for a carry cut, it's not going to fit. So you got to remember that. We get that a lot of questions that way. You know, can I just take a carry cut and put it in my gun? Well, no, because the frame is different. Okay, the frame is altered. The back section of the frame here is altered, machined away, and blended in to accommodate for the carry cut itself. The other thing, what you'll notice if you look at the way this is blended, it's like perfect. You know, there's no knit lines or anything. It's just blended very nicely, fits your hand comfortably and everything. What can you expect when you buy a carry cut and want to replace it? You can't expect that because each one is individually hand blended in. So you're going to end up, when you pop out your original carry cut and you put something else in, different carry cut, pin it in, you'll notice, oh boy, it's hanging out in the bottom and it looks kind of rough. Well, it's supposed to look that way. You want extra material. We purposely machine the carry cuts with a little extra material on the back so that you have material to blend to your frame. Your hole location is generally based off the bottom hole location in the frame when they drill the new hole and ream the new hole for the carry cut. And you'll want enough material so that this can be machined or blended and sanded into place so everything's nice and smooth and contoured in. If there's not enough material there, very difficult to add it on afterwards. So again, if your gun already has a carry cut style mainspring housing, you want to add a new one, you still may have to do some blending to the mainspring housing or the mainspring housing and the frame to make it really look nice and feel proper. I have seen people that use them like this. It doesn't bother them. They don't mind the aesthetics of the way it looks. They like the way it feels, and they're off and going. Personally, myself, this would drive me crazy, so I'd want to have that blended, machined off, and blended in nicely and refinished off nicely, so it would really look nice. That's me. I like it that way. So again, when you do a carry cut mainspring housing, the internal parts will be your officer's parts, which we do have our officer's internal parts kits listed on our website at fusionfirearms.com. You can go see that. You'll use a standard top retaining pin, which you would use on your mag wells or your standard mainspring housings for any of the flavors or sizes, regardless if it's a commander, an officer's, a full size. It's all going to go with the same retaining pin on the top. Now on the internal parts, again, you'll end up taking, generally if you don't have a carry cut mainspring housing, you'll have to buy the carry cut mainspring housing and get an internals kit so that you have it all together. Our carry cuts generally come with the mainspring housing kit. Some of the sales channels that we sell on don't allow the springs to be sold, so those you'll have to buy separate through the website. But generally, if you buy them through our website, you get that as a kit. And again, it's very easy to load. You load it just like you would load any other standard mainspring housing. I generally secure those in a vise. Your bullet nose pin will go down and the cap pin up. And again, this is really elementary to a lot of people, but we do get these questions every day. So here we go. We're going to insert that into the carry cut mainspring housing. Use a screwdriver or a pin punch to compress the spring, and then insert the retaining pin in the top to retain all the internal parts in there. Now generally at this point, again, as you see in the other videos, I'll use a couple drops of oil, and I generally work the internals up and down a little bit. And again, I do that just to make sure nothing is binding inside, the cap pin's not dragging excessively, the spring's not bound up. The bottom detent, you should be able to look through the hole in the mainspring housing and see the bullet point just slightly coming out into the hole. And again, that is to retain it with the slot that's turned into the retaining pin for the frame, so that it'll retain this pin so it can't come out under use. So again, we'll put that in, line the hole up, insert the pin, tap the pin home, and there you have it. The new carry cut is installed. At this point, I would blend these pieces all together at the same time. Again, some people, that doesn't bother them, they use it this way. Me, I prefer the full blending, and it's just better for your comfort and carry and everything else. So that's basically the ins and outs of the carry cut style mainspring housing. There are drill jigs available for the drilling of the frame. I suggest you drilling and then reaming. Generally use a Bridgeport so you can secure it nice and square, parallel, so you know your holes are in line. If you do need help with those items, you can look on our services charts on our website and at fusionfirearms.com, and you'll see that we have service fees that we can install these in your frame or your pistol. It'll come totally blended, it'll be machined, blended, and the mainspring housing, your choice of mainspring housing, carry cut mainspring housing, is included with the job. So when you send it in, we'll do the whole job for you. It'll come back to you with this all blended and ready to go in your frame for you. You can also choose at that time refinishing services if you want the lower end refinished or the gun refinished or anything of that nature at that time. Because you got to remember, carbon parts will rust, so if you do your blending, you're going to want to refinish the frame or refinish the carry cut mainspring itself. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you need more help, feel free to contact us through our website at fusionfirearms.com. Contact us through our customer service, and we'll help you out as much as we can. Thank you very much for watching.